Hello and welcome back to the Photoshop channel. In today's video, we're taking a first look at a brand new feature available in Odoo 19.1, the Timesheets Assistant. This feature introduces automatic time tracking using Activity Watch, meaning Odoo can now help track what you're working on in real time, instead of logging timesheets manually at the end of the day. This will be more of an introductory and exploratory video, because the feature is still very new. But let's see what it brings and how it's supposed to work. Traditionally, timesheets in Odoo are entered manually. You select a project, choose a task, and log the time yourself. But the Timesheets Assistant Odoo takes a completely different approach. It integrates with Activity Watch to automatically track your activity on your device and in your browser. Based on that activity, Odoo then suggests timesheet entries that reflect what you were actually working on. To access it, you simply go to a dedicated menu called Assistant. Here you'll see a new layout, Assistant suggestions on the left, your timesheet entries on the right. The concept is very simple. Odoo detects your activity, lists it as suggestions, and you decide what should become a real timesheet entry. For example, I can select one or even several suggestions, and on the right side, I can add a project, assign a task if needed, review the detected time spent, and I can also indicate whether the time is billable. Auto automatically organizes entries into billable and non-billable sections. This gives both managers and employees a clear overview of what can be invoiced, what was internal work, and how the day was actually spent. This significantly improves transparency and reporting across the company. Once everything looks good, I just click Create, and that's it. With one click, this activity becomes a proper timesheet entry. No manual typing, no guessing, no missed hours. It's important to note that nothing is posted automatically. The assistant only collects activity data and shows it as suggestions. You stay fully in control and decide which activities to keep, which ones to ignore, and which ones should become real timesheet entries. This keeps the system flexible and helps avoid incorrect or unwanted time logging. Now when you open the Timesheets Assistant for the first time, Odoo will prompt you to install the Timesheet Assistant tools. You'll see a few options here. First we have desktop activity, which is required. This option tracks the application or window you're using and how much time you spent in each one. At the moment, desktop activity tracking is available only on Windows, and it requires downloading a small desktop app. Odoo also mentions that support for other operating systems is coming, which clearly shows that this feature is still in an early rollout phase. Next, we have browser activity, which is recommended but optional. This works through a browser extension, available for browsers like Chrome and Firefox. With this enabled, Odoo can track which websites you're working on, which tabs are active, and how long each one is used. This is especially useful for consultants, functional users, researchers, or anyone working heavily with web-based tools. Instead of logging time manually, Odoo can later suggest timesheet entries based on your actual browsing activity. There is also an interesting option here called I'm a dev. This is clearly designed for developers and technical users. The idea is to track code editor activity, files you're working on, and even specific project folders. This allows Odoo to estimate actual coding time instead of relying only on application or browser usage. Clicking this option redirects you to Activity Watch documentation, where you can see different editor watchers. At this stage, I'd consider this option experimental, advanced, and mainly for technical users already familiar with Activity Watch. For most users, desktop and browser tracking will be the main entry point. Still, it's good to see that Odoo is already thinking about developer level time tracking. Another important part of the Timesheets Assistant is Assistant rules. These rules define how Odoo matches your activity to meaningful timesheet suggestions, for example, based on websites, applications, or keywords. Each rule can map activity to a specific activity type, a project, or a task. There are also local assistant rules, which work differently. These don't require manual setup. Instead, Odoo learns from your behavior. The more you confirm suggestions, the better it becomes at proposing the correct project and task. So over time, the assistant doesn't just track activity, it adapts to you. Now I want to be very transparent here. In my case, I wasn't able to fully connect the assistant to my laptop. This could be due to the feature being very new in Odoo 19.1 or desktop tracking requiring a non-demo database. So if you're testing this yourself and don't see activity syncing immediately, that's completely expected at this stage. This video is meant to be a first look, not a full configuration guide. Even in its early stage, this feature is a huge step forward. Odoo is moving timesheets from manual reporting to background automation. And that's a big shift. So that was a first look at the Timesheets Assistant in Odoo 19.1. It's clearly an early feature, but the direction is very promising. Once it becomes more stable and fully usable outside demo environments, I'll definitely create a step-by-step practical tutorial. If you found this video useful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments what you think about automatic time tracking in Odoo. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.